What is reasonable force in self-defense cases? Imagine being suddenly attacked and having to decide how much force to use to protect yourself. How do courts decide if your actions were justified? That's where reasonable force comes into play. It's about what a typical person would do in a similar situation. When someone faces an immediate threat of harm, they are allowed to use enough force to stop that threat. But how much is too much? That's what we'll explore. First, the threat must be immediate and unavoidable. If someone threatens you with violence right now, you can respond. But if the danger is in the past or hypothetical, self-defense doesn't apply. You need to believe you are in real danger at that moment. Next, the force used must be necessary. If you can escape or avoid the fight safely, using force might not be justified. For example, retreating from a non-lethal punch might be the better choice. Proportionality is also key. If someone threatens with a punch, responding with deadly force like shooting them would be seen as excessive. But if they threaten with a weapon, using deadly force could be considered reasonable. The law looks at what a typical person would do in the same situation. This includes how severe the threat was and how immediate the danger appeared. Courts also consider whether the force used was reasonable given the circumstances. They ask, would a reasonable person believe that their safety was at risk? If yes, then the force might be justified. But once the threat is gone, using force again is not allowed. For example, chasing someone after they stop attacking is not self-defense. Also, defending property alone usually doesn't justify deadly force unless your safety is also at risk. It's important to note that if you started the fight or used force first, claiming self-defense becomes more complicated. You might not be able to justify your actions unless you clearly withdraw and communicate that you want to stop fighting. In criminal cases, proving that the force was reasonable is vital. Defense attorneys focus on showing that the defendant believed they faced an immediate threat and responded with proportionate force. The judge or jury will look at all the facts, including witness statements and evidence, to decide if the force used was justified. Understanding what constitutes reasonable force helps protect innocent people from being unfairly accused while ensuring that those who truly need to defend themselves can do so without fear of punishment.